Hi everyone, this is Ryan. I am the co-founder of Ankr. Today, the topic, I'd like to share with everyone is the future of blockchain data infrastructure. As you all know, Ankr is one of the leading blockchain infrastructure company in the world. We pioneered liquid staking Ethereum. We also are one of the leading provider for APIs and RPCs, in the blockchain space. Thousands of companies, in the blockchain space utilize, our services. Every day, there's more than 6 billion RPC calls done via Ankr's platform. And I'm very happy today to have this opportunity to share with everyone the future of blockchain data infrastructure from Ankr's perspective, from one of the, major provider on a lot of major layer twos and major blockchains in the space. We really are very excited by the prospect of the future of the blockchain development, right? Especially right now, though it sounds, it's a little bit of a bear market. However, I feel that the opportunity really is now and today. And I think a lot of things are actually happening kind of like quietly. So despite being in a bear market currently, blockchain development is actually stronger than ever. The technology stack has matured sort of dramatically. And the world's largest enterprises are really building fast to implement proven benefits like tokenization, automation, and basically creating the next generation of currency and payments. Right? Ankr have been lucky enough to actually work with a lot of the large enterprises, in the world, including Microsoft, including Tencent, including Ali Cloud, and Google Cloud. Right? Really trying to leverage, some of the existing cloud providers, so the infrastructure to bring, blockchain technology adoption to the wider audience. As we have, we now have find like a true fit for blockchain. At least, we can already see some of the fitting, especially like in DeFi, in some of these areas. We really think that we need to push Web3 the last mile forward, to become as easy and as performant as using any other like technology that has been like sort of popularized, amongst the consumers. Right? I think that we are already, at a place where the blockchain layer 2 technology as well as account abstraction technology is already there. For developers to build the next generation of big and important consumer app in the space. Now, it is very difficult to build a level of like, scalability, user experience, and security all into a Web3 application purely based on sort of a Web3, technologies, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of the front end stuff, a lot of some of the storage things, still is almost like better to use a lot of Web2 technology. I am personally of the opinion that I don't necessarily think, a Web3 application or Web3 technology company should use the entire stack all based on Web3. There are certain areas I simply think there's very low benefit, to like force a application, use Web3 technology. I would argue though, on the sort of asset and on the sort of incentive distribution and these areas, blockchain can really have its like, core benefit, to be shown. But every day, we are sort of refining and upgrading the infrastructure and tooling for developers to build better and better dApps that we have like, never seen before. I believe at the end of the day, superior technology driven superior, user experiences, right? Some of the 2023's biggest trending developments, such as like ZK rollups, account abstraction, security updates, are now allowing us really to create much more seamless, experience, like, all the Web2, application, but with all the unique benefits of like Web3, right? Account abstraction, actually, I wanted to definitely like touch upon, right? I think that now we're seeing some of the early account abstraction adoption, where to explain this simply, right? Now, most of the Web3 application, you have to kind of like connect wallet, MetaMask or like Wallet Connect, this, that, right? But with a common extraction and with like smart contract wallets, theoretically, you'd be able to really kind of have a very similar experience as if you're using a Web2 app, right? I think that to build any solutions, however, developer first needs a connection to blockchain nodes that give them and their application the ability to read and write data quickly and reliably. This is, currently known as the RPC, which is remote procedure call layer, right? That lets decentralized applications query data on blockchain as well as send your transaction to the blockchain, right? This infrastructure remains fundamentally important to Web3 growth, which is where Ankr focused at, and which is where every day we're servicing thousands and thousands of companies and billions of like requests and RPC calls. Our mission has been to provide the fastest and most efficient stream of data between blockchains and wallets and dApps and developers interacting with them. By improving this base layer of blockchain infrastructure, we can directly improve the performance of every new project and dApp, including solutions like zk rollup, account abstraction, DeFi protocols, so on and so forth, right? Because like you might think that layer 2 or account abstraction or like DeFi protocols, they are like different things, but I would argue that they all rely very heavily on the interaction with the blockchain, right? As an infrastructure provider, we basically work with almost like every part, of the industry downstream as well as like upstream, from the chains and the layer 1s, layer 2s, to the sort of other developer tools, as well as like, for example, we work closely with, the Graph, we work with, other sort of infrastructure, provider. And we also work closely with the, sort of application layer, dApp layer developers and, protocols for them to better interact with the blockchain to provide a complete sort of infrastructure solution for them. Now, much of the full node or RPC infrastructure has traditionally been running on cloud and constrained to data centers in the United States. However, Ankr taking a very unique approach where having bare metal nodes distributed across independent data centers worldwide, we believe really fundamentally can improve and have already improved the global RPC performance. Almost anywhere in the world, you can try it out. Ankr's RPC performance is simply the best, given, our approach of like bare metal data center nodes, right? Where in many ways, I would argue that the current sort of public cloud isn't necessarily all built, for blockchain at all, right? Meaning that there is a ton of things, on the public cloud isn't necessarily sort of purpose-built, for the blockchain space, means higher cost and higher chance of like single point of failure, et cetera, right? Our approach, really, have been kind of like helped us to get the best like latency and best, reliability across like, North America, South America, Europe, Middle East, Asia, Oceania, Africa, right? We have like 30-ish various cloud regions, really we're providing the best latency as well as accessibility, right? This approach we have, offers not only decreased the latency for users, but also added kind of like protection against single point failure, right? Load balancers redirect failed requests, stemming from outages, stemming from like outages, affect one data center or node to next close by and available node, right? Meaning that we're really able to provide almost like a fail-safe for all the users, right? The dedicated, computing resources of their bare metal nodes provides a high performance, experience to handle intense data storage and retrieval requirements, of blockchain. Like this provides the best possible solution, as we know, for developers as well as like blockchain partners, right, to really strengthen their node infrastructure, right, provide the best and most sort of fertile ground for the next generation of the dApp that will reach hundreds of millions of users, hopefully. I think the infrastructure success is key to the success of the applications and the dApps. Now, what's stronger than having available bare metal nodes and cloud-based nodes is a fusion of both. And that's what we, have like delivered. Like the ultrasound infrastructure is our alliance with top cloud providers to provide easy developer access using archive nodes with enhanced capability and perform, capacities, right? Our cloud partnership can power Web3 by leveraging existing network, along with, the bare metal networks that we, work with, right? We drastically expand the points of presence for blockchain node infrastructure in the world. Having these additional, we call like POPs, allow us to serve edge locations where co-location for nodes in data centers like not possible for extremely expensive, while enhancing performance in like major metro location. We can all do these, at the same time. Both we cover the big range, and we also service the sort of concentrated heavy load, well at the same time. This really makes RPC services even faster while making it increasingly easy for any developer to access sort of infrastructure, platforms around the world, right? We not only work with the bare metal, but also like we are the first one to provide the RPC services on the Microsoft Azure marketplace, as well as like Tencent Cloud. RPC is also powered by Ankr's technology. Now, blockchain API, blockchain APIs that deliver sort of pre-cached data can take blockchain data delivery a step further, turning the fast responses into nearly instant returns on data requests, right? Our flagship product, advanced APIs, like those, are essentially index node responses for common archive data, queries, right? It provides the fastest possible round-trip request times for large archive data queries. Additionally, they also allow our advanced APIs. They also allow for searching once across several different blockchains at the same time. For example, to see the balance of your address and any asset on Ethereum and Polygon, like in one query. Advanced APIs, which we're very proud of, it can speed up the user experiences of decentralized apps greatly while taking multi-chain development much easier, contributing to the overall scalability of Web3 and assisting layer 2 ecosystems growth, as well as like interoperabilities, between the layer 2s and between other layer 1s. So in addition to the foundational blockchain data connections, we can also push the industry forward with tools that assist developer innovation, such as like smart contract automation. Smart contract automation really gives builders more ways to harness data to trigger contract execution, right? Allowing them to deliver asset automatically, streamline user experience, and much improve the DeFi platforms. This further assists efforts such as like account abstraction in creating the next generation of Web3 UX. Right? I think that again, the account abstraction sort of topic has like show up multiple times, because ultimately right now a big issue and big sort of blocking for a much better user experience is that you need to sign this, sign that, jump on to different like platforms and apps to be like signing transaction. While if you're looking at any of the Web 2 applications, you kind of just like do it in one app and you don't necessarily leave. Right? Every time you leave, it almost have to a big integration with like another application, not like every single time you need to sign the transaction. And I think the big unlock is the smart contract, wallet is the account abstraction. Now, next, we believe with like better data connections and tooling, we can really give developer everything they need to build Web3 experience that can get to the mass adoption, right? With much better support on layer 2 technology, layer 2 infrastructure, faster, better interoperability. We work closely with a lot of these, cross-chain bridge providers, as well as cross-chain, messaging protocols, really develop a unified and seamless, cross multi-layer 2 experience, and also with the account abstraction, allowing it to be as similar to a user experience as like Web 2, right? I think we are nearly at the point of a completely, scalable and performant, industry where users experience applications that make extremely easy to get started with wallet and transaction experience much easier than whatever it is, much closer to the Web 2 counterparts. Now, long story short, we work at Ankr. We work very hard with a lot of important key stakeholders in the industry, right? Whether it's like the exchanges, the blockchains, the cloud providers, the DeFi protocols, right? Across Web 2 and Web 3, across centralized finance as well as like decentralized finance, right? We believe what we're building, which is the node infrastructure, which is the global, global sort of bare metal as well as cloud sort of mixed and load balance driven, so fail-safe across a mixed infrastructure, sort of a layer, really, I think, powers us to be very adaptive and very scalable and elastic when it comes to any kind of like DeFi protocol or layer 1 or layer 2, blockchains, right? All we are doing is to give the best possible tooling as well as infrastructure to ambitious developers as well as protocol and application creator, the best chance to create a next generation Web3 application utilizing smoothly the layer 2 technology, account abstraction, to bring blockchain adoption truly to the next 100 million, even 1 billion users. Yeah, that's kind of like the final thought. I'm very glad today get to share with everyone about Ankr and our approach to the infrastructure and the vision we have and the mission that we take on, really being the best ultrasound infrastructure provider in the space, powering everyone's success. Thank you.